So for some reason, TikTok wouldn't show the word sequel in this comment, but whatever. Let's do the sequel. So in Grave Encounters 2, Grave Encounters 1 exists like as a movie, as is shown to us, and the whole world believes it to be just like a horror movie, except for this one guy. His name is Alex. And we learn very quickly that Alex is a film student, and he is like obsessed with the first Grave Encounters movie. So obsessed to the point where he's like convincing himself that, okay, this is not a movie, this is totally fucking real. And so Alex starts posting his like theories about this movie being a real life thing online, and one day he gets a reply from someone whose screen name is Death Awaits. Sound familiar? So after this happens, Alex is actually able to track down Lance's mother, who reveals to him that Lance's real name is Sean, and Sean is actually missing. He has not come back from his like Grave Encounters episode. And then Alex gets another text from Death Awaits saying, come meet me at this hospital. I live close by, which is in Vancouver, BC. Come meet me at the hospital at 3 a.m. and I can give you all the inside details to the movie. And Alex is actually able to convince his group of friends to go with him to the hospital. So we got Trevor, and not pictured is Jared. They're like the two camera guys. I can't find a picture of Jared anywhere. I'm sorry, I tried. We also have Jennifer and Tessa. So the group goes to Vancouver and they get to the hospital, and they're actually confronted by a security guard, so they have to drive away first and come back later at night. So the group comes back in the middle of the night, they break into the hospital, but this Death Awaits person is not there. He's not showing up or anything. They wait like a half hour and the person's still not there. So they're looking around the hospital and they discover this Ouija board that's like scratched into a table. So of course they play with it, and almost immediately shit starts to happen. Like the wooden thing that you use on one of these boards, like it just slides everywhere. And it reveals to them that Death Awaits is actually like a paranormal thing. So basically they're like just lured to this hospital by this weird, creepy, supernatural force. And then the group witnesses this table like start violently levitating because like the forces are kicking in at this point. And they decide that this is getting a little too real for them and that they want to leave. So just like the first one, Jared goes off on his own to get the cameras. And he goes up into this room, which is, same room Matt disappeared in. And then that window opens, but Jared actually sees it open. So he goes over to investigate, and the supernatural force pushes him through that window. And now Tess was actually with Jared. They didn't go off alone, excuse me. And she hears him scream, and she sees that he's gone, and the window shatters. So she blows an air horn that they brought with them, and that brings the rest of the group up to where they are. The group now tries to find their way out of the hospital, but they are actually separated from Tessa, and when they backtrack to go find her, there is like a solid wall in the middle of the frickin' hallway, just like there was in the first one when they tried to go up those stairs. And on the other side of the wall, we see Tessa like wandering this hallway on her own, when suddenly like this violent invisible force yanks her backwards, it crushes her skull, and she is offed. Meanwhile, the rest of the group is wandering the halls of like this hospital, and they wander into one room where they witness the security guard that they ran into earlier being fucking electrocuted on a table. They try and shut it off, but it's too late, which forces them to flee because they're terrified. And then they stumble into this room where they see this little ghost girl brushing her hair, and as they get closer, she looks up at them and her fucking face contorts. This sends the group screaming into the hallways. They find an exit, they're able to get out, but when they get to their hotel and like they pack their bags to go, they get into the elevator and they look back to see this fucking sight. This fucking terrified me. And this scene doesn't end there, because from something that can only be described as pure nightmare fuel, when they push the down button on the elevator, the doors close, and when they open again, they are in the fucking service tunnels because they never made it out of the fucking asylum. So they're wandering around the service tunnels when these pipes kind of explode and all like the smoke comes pouring out. So they switch to heat ray vision, like that heat ray vision stuff, so they can see through the smoke. And they can see the outlines of each other, but in like this terrifying, heart-pounding moment, they see the outline of a fourth person. And remember, there's 5 people in that group. 2 of them are already off, so there's 3 left, but now there's a 4th person in the surface tunnels with them. And turns out it is fucking Lance. He has survived in this hospital for 9 fucking years after that lobotomy, and he has survived on rats. It is disgusting. So the group gets over the shock, they realize who this guy is, and Lance tells them that there's this red door that he's never been able to open, but he has opened every other door in the hospital, and since this is the one he can't open, he assumes that this is the only way out of the hospital. Lance also tells the group that the reason that the hospital is like as paranormally weird as it is because Arthur Freakin, the main doctor, has actually been like doing these satanic rituals as well as his experimentations, which basically merged the physical world with the spiritual world. So at this point, the group is exhausted and they decide to like get some sleep. But while they're sleeping, Lance/Sean wakes up and offs Trevor so he can steal his bolt cutters and get through the door. But of course, when Lance/Sean goes through the doors, there's nothing on the other side. It's just like a pair of doors standing in an empty room. And of course, when Alex and Jennifer wake up, they find the body of their friend Trevor. Naturally, this freaks them out, so they flee, and they actually stumble upon the same room that Lance/Sean stumbled upon in the first movie, and they see the fucking doctor sacrificing a fucking baby and performing a lobotomy, you guys. God, the baby scene made me want to cry. When Jennifer and Alex are running from that, they once again stumble upon Lance/Sean, who tells them that now he knows that the only way that they can actually get out of this hospital is if they finish the film. And with that, Lance/Sean tries to kill Alex to finish the film, but before he can do that, like this dark void opens up and sucks him into it. And Lance/Sean is offed. But then Alex realizes that Lance/Sean was right about this and he has to finish the film to survive and get out of the hospital. And the way that Alex decides to finish the film is by killing Jennifer. Yeah, great show of like friendship, buddy. Good job. So in a very hard to watch scene, Alex offs Jennifer, and when she is lying on the floor, he's able to walk through the red doors out into like the bright sunlight and out of the hospital. And in the last scene that we get, Alex is talking to the producer of the first Grave Encounters movie, and when the producer asks him, is there anything else you want to share? Alex says, yep, don't go looking for this hospital. But right before the credits roll, we get a flash of some numbers, and we realize that these are the fucking coordinates to the hospital. And that's it. So I want to point out here that actually both Grave Encounters movies, they're both good. I thought the first one was a little bit better, but they're both good. But they do take a while to get into, so you gotta be patient when you're watching these movies before like the jump scares actually start rolling in. Alright everyone, you all know the drill. Don't forget to hit that like button and comment what horror movie you want me to do next. I will be replying.